This is beautiful. Man.
So, thank you. I figured I'd give you some nice imagery to start off. We're in the Musca Dark region. It's about 600 light years from the bubble, about 2 jumps away from the Chameleon Nebula. Figured we'd go take a look, see if we can find something no one else has found before.
Nice. Okay.
This is my real passion here, going out and finding things. I mean, this is the Rowan Heart, my primary jump ship, but it's not really spec'd for the most jump range capable, but it definitely has some fun. Well, let's go take a look then. If you never watched my Anaconda video, you know that it's the most overpowered ship in the game.
It is a beast. It is a beast. Look at it. I mean,
Wow, it's glorious.
4, 3, 2,
here we go on the jump.
engage.
Okay, so tell us where we're going here.
Alright. I don't know if you can see my map, you probably can't. We're heading off to Chameleon Sector PDS B4-2. And the reason we're doing that is we're going to see if we can take a look at what's going on in the little known Chameleon Sector, which pretty much nobody goes to. It's a small little dust cloud.
All right, should be interesting.
So what's been going on with you, man?
What's going on with me is I've been checking in with commanders like yourself, because you guys are doing some outstanding things, man. You have been one of the fastest growing content creators that I've seen. Back when I started, toward the end of last year, I dropped about 3 videos on the same day. I can only barely watch one of them, is the Eagle video. The others were just kind of It took me to about the 5th video for the channel for it to really start popping, run to it, kind of have something that folks were interested in tuning into. Your average YouTuber kind of goes through a little struggle, and where they're filling out, they're finding their voice, they're filling out what their content should be, that type of thing. You came sprinting out of the gate. You came sprinting out of the gate. How is it that you started with such really polished videos?
I wouldn't actually say I did. The Anaconda video was the very first one I ever did, actually. And, I go back and I watch it now and I'm like, God damn it, there's so many mistakes, so many errors. The quality of the video itself is not that great. I think I screwed up the encoding. So it's, oh look, check it out, you can actually see the nebula.
Yeah, that's dope.
Right. I screwed up the recording and the encoding so that it actually dropped quality like 30%. I don't even remember what I did, but you could definitely notice it. And on top of that, when I color corrected it, I used the wrong monitor, which had the wrong color profile set to it. So on certain shots, it's all like a little blown out, and it's disappointing. And now I kind of like every once in a while I look at it because it's my like highest watched video, and I watch it and I go, okay, and I kind of make a resolution that I got to go back and make the Anaconda revisited.
Okay.
But I appreciate it. I mean, everyone says that I'm doing particularly well and this and that. In the beginning, it didn't feel like that. I had like 10 people who watched it and a single downvote, and I was like, okay.
Nice, man. Gotta have those downvotes though. They kind of keep you centered, man.
Engagement is engagement. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The pilot, man. I've been wondering about that name. Very streamlined, very non-ostentatious, almost mysterious. What's the story behind that?
I like spaceships. I've always been kind of obsessed with spaceships and going out into space, and I said as much in my thank you 1,000 subscriber thank you video that the minute I get the chance, I'm gonna download my brain into a computer and send it off into space and go see what I can see.
Very Twilight Zone-esque.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, not to completely isolate anybody else who actually, still very much cares about humanity, but I'd very much like to ditch my meat suit as soon as possible.
Meat suit sound like Bender.
Well, I'm not quite there yet. I can't say kill all humans just yet. We'll get it. We'll get it.
Fuel scooping.
How many jumps away are we?
Actually, we hit it last jump, but there was nothing there besides 2 stars. So I'm gonna see what's here.
Disengaged.
And we'll get a couple of neat candidates. But everything's been explored.
So what do you think about the exploration process now since it's been changed?
Part of me really enjoys the fact that, it's something a little bit more involved than what we had, but at the same time, it is shorter and longer at the same time, which is probably the best way you could have gone. So I really can't complain, but on the other hand, I don't know, maybe I'm just bitter that sometimes I can't line up those probe shots.
So you'll have to watch my video, man. Get your game up.
I always try to get in that target zone, but
I kind of dig it. It's more engaging than just flying all across the system and pointing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I played the beta with it too, and it's nice. It's definitely a nice change of pace. I definitely prefer it, but at the same time, I don't know. I liked that I was able to get a detailed scan by just flying close enough to it. Now I actually have to throw some probes down. I don't know. It's probably better off that way. Anybody wants to come in, honk, and just grab all the systems and then do the DSS can still do that. But now there's that 3rd level.
Yeah, that's true. You see through, my friend.
Was that your best GMX impression?
No, I wasn't thinking that, but maybe. I've been playing Elite Dangerous about a year and a half now. How long have you been into it?
I bought it about 3 years ago, I think.
3 years ago?
I'm not sure. Yeah,
okay.
maybe.
You are a super vet, way more veteran status than me. What got you into it?
Well, like I said, I like ships. Oh, that was the other thing about the name, is that realistically, I didn't really necessarily want to limit myself to just Elite Dangerous. It is a 4 or 5 year old game. I like flying other ships in other games too. But here's me being cheap and using Super Cruise Assist.
Hey man, I was kind of hating on that, but I love it now.
It's so useful.
It really is. A lot of people are hating on it, and there's really no reason to. Embrace it, love it.
Exactly. I once came back from this huge expedition I had done. It took me 4 months and mapped so much stuff. Literally made it back to my home station. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm dying. I got to get some sleep and then get up in 2 hours to go to work. And I go in for a landing, and I nudge someone the wrong way, or I hit another ship or something like that. The station gets pissed at me, blows me out of the fucking sky. I lose all of my data. I just sat there and just despair and misery for at least another hour. I think I may have called out. I don't even know.
Was it one of them things where you're so shocked you're just staring at the screen?
Exactly. But since to this day, if I'm going out on a huge fucking epic expedition,
yeah,
I'm taking an auto dock.
There you go. Luckily, we got that extra slot now, so it's not like we're sacrificing anything to get that.
Exactly.
Get that thing. That's good stuff, man.
Thank you.
I remember back in the day, I was taking on some missions that had consequences. I stacked them up. I don't remember what they were, and I failed them all somehow. And the factions that were distributing the missions weren't too happy. They sent some ships to make an example out of me, murder me up. They blew up my Type 9, which I had grinded many hours to get. Because back then you actually had to grind to get some ships. And they blew it up twice. They wouldn't stop coming, so I hopped in a sidewinder and tried to get back to my home station as fast as possible. I was getting interdicted left and right. I got killed a couple times, but as soon as I respawned, kept my foot on the gas. After I made it back, I grabbed my federal gunship. No engineering. I wasn't ready to get into that stuff yet. Headed out to Tosarak at a sprint looking for them. And one fight after another, 5 fights and a cracked canopy later, I limped back home with the biggest, scariest grin you ever seen on a commander.
Covered in blood, you got the axe in one hand.
By far my favorite moment in Elite Dangerous. What's your most memorable moment in the cockpit?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I think I gotta say, I think hopping into Sagittarius A with Scott Manley was like pretty up there. I'd been there before, but not with EDFX, going and the screen calibrated correctly or anything like that. So it wasn't as beautiful, or even getting there was just gorgeous. The game is a goddamn screensaver generator, or a wallpaper generator.
Yeah, it really is.
So many great things to see, and I really would like to spend most of my time in the bubble because that's where everything is, but it's just so much prettier everywhere else.
That's true. I kind of got a hard time with that. I really need a second account, but
you and me both.
Yeah. I mean, right now there's not a lot of content dropping where I need to get back. But that's
fleet carriers were leaked today.
Yeah, I did see that. I can't wait to see. First of all, I can't wait to look at the Facebook groups just to see what people say about that. Because that was supposed to be out, January, something like that?
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How much do you think those things are going to cost?
A fleet carrier. I mean, considering we got this void opal craziness where, almost nothing is out. Well, nothing is out of reach. So they got to make it expensive to where everybody can't get it right off the bat.
Yeah, but see, that's the question, though, is that because not everybody does the void opal mining in excess, like, what I would think was most of us, but is apparently not. Most people just come in, they do the small little mission grind here or there.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, you might get enough money for the cutter eventually, but I'm thinking like what, like 100 million?
Nah, man, it could be. It could be. If it's either gonna cost 100 million on the low end or $1 billion. Nothing in between. It's not gonna be 200 million. It's not gonna be 300 million. It's gonna either be 100 million or $1 billion. That's my shots in the dark there, man. What do you think?
But even then, like $1 billion, a lot of us, the people who have gone out and done the void opal mining, you could get that in what, a day?
Yeah, I mean, but the line got to be drawn somewhere. The line must be drawn here.
No farther. That's right. I watch Star Trek. Does this planet look weird to you? Like a little weird shape, like oval?
Flipping through cameras, hold up. A little oval.
Oh, it's a gas giant.
What?
It looks like, it doesn't look like it doesn't look round. It looks flatter.
Nah, it looks, well, yeah, it does look a bit oval. More Ovaltine.
More Ovaltine, please.
Hey man, so are you a flight assist on guy or flight assist off?
I am not the best combat pilot on the planet, but or in the galaxy rather. But I do understand that if you don't learn to fly with flight assist off, you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
So is that you jumping in and out, or you just haven't got to that yet?
No, I mean, it also depends on which ship you're flying. If you're in something like this, the Anaconda, then no. I mean, you really don't have to. You throw some turrets on this ship, you're fine, But if I'm in the Courier or the Eagle, yeah, you got to learn how to fight. You got to learn how to fight with FA off. And that's just the end of it.
Yeah. DC through, my friend. Now
See,
you got me thinking of Yamix every time.
It can't be a Yamix impression because he's far too nice. He hasn't insulted me yet, you know.
I've never heard anybody describe Yamix as nice. But he really is.
I think he's probably a nice guy. I gotta believe that in my, you know.
He's a nice guy with some flavor on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm relatively new to PC gaming. Like anybody that's seen my Star Citizen for Elite Dangerous Commanders videos knows that I bought a PC to play those 2 games. So I don't really know all the stuff. One thing I noticed is that people are always interested in knowing what your specs look like. So by the power of Grayskull, I'm gonna ask you, what's under the hood, my friend?
I'm gonna hate to disappoint because a lot of people, leave a comment in the video. They're like, "My God, what video card are you running? How are you getting these graphics? How are you doing this and that?" This is a i7 6700K with a 970 GTX graphics card. That's it.
Okay.
That's all there is to it.
Dig that. I've been asked the same thing, and I've had to disappoint people as well. One guy came into my Discord, and I told him what I got. He's like, "Really?
Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Sorry."
Sorry. My bad. I didn't know, man. Hey, are you Hodas, mouse and keyboard, gamepad, controller? What do you use?
Yes, all of them.
All of the above.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it depends on what I'm doing personally. But if I'm out here getting footage or trying to get the right camera angle or trying to get an interesting shot, believe it or not, I'm actually on a Xbox controller because you can get those kind of smooth micro movements with the thumb joystick.
Oh, see, I haven't tried that. I'll be using that from now on.
I hope you do. But I mean, the problem is that it's a lot more fun and a lot more realistic if you're flying with the Hodas, but
yeah,
you try to operate that camera and remember where all those controls are for zoom, blur, everything like that. You try to hold a steady line with the foot pedal or just moving the stick.
The foot pedal.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you got the there's a name for those, right? The foot pedal. I hate calling it.
Yeah, I can't remember it either.
that Seinfeld thing again.
It's actually just a mouse down there,
What holders do you got?
Generic from Alibaba.com.
I've always wanted to use that site, but I never really known if it was trustworthy. But it's so big now.
It's not, though.
Not?
No. So, okay, look. The trick with Alibaba is that you gotta talk to the rep for the company of what you're buying from.
You gotta talk to the rep.
Yeah. Like, you can actually contact them and say, "Hey, what's going on? What kind of processes you have, et cetera, et cetera." If they will they won't inadvertently, they'll blatantly tell you, "Actually, we're the ones who make the Thrustmaster, HOTAS systems and this and that." And you're like, "Oh, sweet." And they're like, "Yeah, the thing is that, Thrustmaster may have ordered X amount of units, but only to accept the delivery of half of them. So they have half the inventory left over, just unbranded. So you can buy those at like a fraction of the price, and it's the same exact unit, but it just doesn't have the Thrustmaster branding on it."
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah, I hope a lot of people hear that, because that is something I would have never known had you not said that.
Oh, I'm full of useless information.
Nah, that's pretty useful, I would say. I use the X52 Pro, and I want to upgrade to something with more buttons, but I haven't found anything that replaces all the things I need on the stick. Like even the X55, all the following iterations, they took away my my covered button that I use for locking. Well, mostly on Star Citizen, I use that for locking missiles, and it took away the finger guard and my secondary fire is just a mess. But I don't know. The X-52 is a classic. It's a real classic, and I think that the Elite Dangerous quotas inside the game are actually based on this, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. I think I heard that somewhere before. Couldn't tell you where exactly, but I know that there is an actual real-world equivalent to the one that's used in the game. A pretty system we're in.
Here it is. It's got that pilot, your specialty, that saturated look.
A little bit of a purple glaze over everything.
Glaze.
Donut. Look, check it out. There's Barnard's Loop in the back.
Dig that.
Have you ever gone there before?
I have not.
So, it's kind of, a lot of it's permit locked. You can't really get to it. Like a surprisingly large amount of the system is, the area is permit locked. But if you do it right, and you have just enough for jump range, you can kind of circumvent a couple of the things and get as close as you can. And it's pretty beautiful. There's a shot in the Anaconda video where you can kind of see, it's less than a second, where you can actually see this kind of red plume coming out of the dust cloud, also orange red. And I got that shot as close as I could to Barnard's Loop.
Nice, my dude.
Yeah.
Is it true that your Anaconda don't want none unless she has spun ton?
It is true. You need more cushion for the pushing, obviously. I am not gluten intolerant. I do want those done. Preferably a little toasted, you know.
A
little bit more butter.
What other games are you into right now? I know Elite has to take up the bulk of your time.
Yeah, pretty much the vast majority of my time is spent here, but I'm a big fan of Stellaris, just if only for the little stories that you can get in there. I'm always a big Fallout guy, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, stuff like that. I mean, those are all pretty old games. Let's see. If we want to talk about old games, though, Burnout Paradise, the ultimate, you know.
Burnout.
Racing, yeah, man.
Dig that. Yeah, that's a classic right there.
I got hooked at Burnout 3. Takedown was just... No, I mean, I play a couple different things. Spaceship-wise, it's going to be this X4 or any one of the, you know, slew of games where you can get a nice ship and customize it. And, yeah. But Elite so far has been pretty much the most simulator that's been not a simulator, that's given me a lot of options to choose from.
I think that's one of the things about Elite, people defining it different ways. I would personally say that Elite is a space pilot simulator.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, I understand what everyone says. They're like, oh no, it has to be realistic, and you know they have to keep it realistic, and we want to be a space pilot simulator, not just a regular space game. So you can't have space legs or anything like that. I'm like, that's bullshit. If this was a space game, like if this was an actual true space pilot simulator, first of all, then why do we completely lack inertia? Like, why do we slow down?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I haven't seen a game where you do slow down, or where you don't slow down.
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Even if, and in Thargoids, for God's sake, it's the aliens off of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, kind of. Well, yeah. Yes and no. But yeah.
I want Doogie Howser to come out of nowhere and go, it's scared. I know. Got a bunch of people who live on the internet, you know, shooting guns at it all day. I'd be scared too.
Best, worst line in the movie. Do you have a favorite movie?
Oh, I got a bunch of favorite movies.
Let's start with the top 5.
Oh, that's rough. Hold on a minute. I gotta pull up the list here. Gotta pull up the server and take a look at what I got. I mean, not to sound like that guy. I've always been a fan of, A Beautiful Mind, stuff like that. It is. It's a great flick. Russell Crowe really sells Nash's character. I thought that was great. I don't know, like the Marvel movies are always a good thing. I like the animated DC movies, not the live action ones, because those are terrible.
You might lose some folks with that statement.
You know what? If I still keep getting people about the Trump thing from the Python video. If you are if you're that sensitive about your life that line bothers you so much that you go out of your way to leave a comment on a YouTube video, you know what? I didn't want you there anyway.
I might cut that part out unless you really want it in there.
You know what? I'm gonna leave that up to you. You decide what you want to do with that.
Okay.
The Count of Monte Cristo was a good one. The remake, not the original. I'm always a fan of oh goddamn, what's his name? The guy who plays Edmond Dantes.
Don't know.
Jim Caviezel.
Jim Caviezel. How old is this movie?
The Count of Monte Cristo?
Yeah, I'm thinking a black and white movie.
No. The remake was in 2002.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's got Guy Pearce in it too.
Guy Pearce, one of the most underrated actors.
Yeah. Now see, Dig, you get me. You know.
Oh yeah. It's crazy, and because I watched all the movies that somebody like me would normally never ever watch, and in film school, and I had never seen that like that. You would think that would be one of the classics where they break down an analysis of that type of film.
Well, it's more of a cultural, more. It's a cultural rock. You ever watch you watch V for Vendetta, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're constantly referencing the Count of Monte Cristo and how his narrative is kind of moving back and forth with, V's own personal narrative and how he sees himself as this imprisoned hero coming back to extract revenge, but how his narrative is kind of different and darker and a little bit more. It's important. You should watch it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You ever watch Frequently Asked Questions about time travel?
I never heard of that one.
All right, so not a lot of people have FAQ about time travel. It's you ever see the IT crowd?
No, I'm aware of. I'm like Family Guy. I was aware of it, but I've never seen it.
All right, so the guy in IT crowd is Chris O'Dowd, and he stars in this movie where him and his 3 buddies work at a kind of a Disneyland knockoff, and he gets fired because he takes his job as a space starship trooper so seriously. And him and his buddies, take him out. They're like, all right, man, we'll make you feel better. Let's go down to the bar and have a couple of drinks. And they go down there, and as they're talking, you just see these kind of coincidences happening and little things, and the camera lingers on something a little bit too long, and you're like, why am I paying attention to this? What's supposed to be happening? And one of them gets up and he goes off to the bathroom, and he's just singing a song that's over the radio and everything like that. And he finishes up, washes his hands, walks out the door, and the whole bar is destroyed. Everyone's dead, laying on the ground. There's little fires everywhere. He's like, what the hell? He freaks out, loses it, goes back into the bathroom, tries to calm down, comes back out, everything's fine again. He can't figure out what's going on. He comes back and he tells the guys, and of course they make fun of him and everything like that. And meanwhile, the main character, he goes off and he runs into this girl who's like, oh, I'm such a big fan, I can't believe I'm actually meeting you. And he's like, uh-huh, cool. She goes, oh, I'm a time traveler. I know we're not supposed to do this, but I couldn't pass up the chance to meet you. I'm your biggest fan. He's like, oh, my friends put you up to this because they know I'm a sci-fi, fan. Thanks for that. Yeah, great, everything like that. And it turns out she actually is a real time traveler. And she's there to patch a hole because holes apparently just spontaneously occur, and this task force goes back in time, patches the hole, and moves on. And the whole night just spills out from this bar, and every single sci-fi time travel trope that you can imagine just happens over and over and over and over and over. And it's great. It's completely great. I highly recommend it. On Groundhog Day, anything with Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a classic.
Yeah.
That's a must watch for everybody. So you know what? Since Groundhog Day, lately we've seen a lot of different takes on that aspect of it of reliving the same day over and over. Have you seen any of these, like the Tom Cruise movie?
Oh, Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow.
Great flick.
Frame shift.
Dope flick.
You know,
I think there's a sequel coming out, if I'm not mistaken.
There is a sequel coming out, and that was an adaptation off of a Japanese director's movie that I cannot remember for the life of me. But
3, 2.
yeah, no, it's that's a great shot too. I mean, just the concept that these aliens can rewind time until they get it right, and you happen to accidentally infect that one guy. Great.
Yeah.
You ever see Maverick?
Maybe. What is it about?
Mel Gibson. He's a grifter in the Old West.
Melly Gibbs.
You know, I'm not actually a big fan of Mel Gibson, but that's a great movie. And at one point, he runs into Donald Glover, who's robbing the bank that he's in, and they both kind of stop and stare at each other for a second and go, nah, okay, and they both just go about the rest of their way. You know, it's fun.
So Elite Dangerous, you could argue that it's been kind of stagnant lately. We've got a few new bits and pieces here and there. What are you most excited about that's upcoming for the game?
I'm not sure. Like the game has never really been a huge content hog. You know, I mean, like there's a lot to do, but there's not a lot to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah.
It gets into that indefinable zone of a lot of people like to say it's a mile wide and an inch deep kind of thing.
Yeah, like you could interpret it as shallow, but what's really interesting is that if you look at like some of the deeper mechanics, specifically with engineering, anything like that, you know, if you're looking for like the perfect stat or the perfect anything like that, well, you have to go get those materials and that engineering and that mat, and you know, you can only get this here, and you have to go to this planet to get that, or you have to know exactly what you're looking for and what planet to land on to go get that, and that can eat up hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Absolutely.
Just getting the stuff that you need just to make the laser on your ship fire a little bit better. And that way, it's incredibly deep. But on the other hand, once you're done, you're like, well, I have a laser that fires a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely more about the journey than the ending.
Yeah, and I like FDev, but I do not have a lot of faith in them in regards to the and some of the ways that they move forward with the game. Like, it's very much the community goes one way and FDev makes a complete left turn. And like Interstellar Initiatives, like the last one was just, what was that?
Even Obsidian kind of said that. Well, you know, I don't know if I'm not sure if I watched the video, but the title kind of it looks like what you just said. Like, what is that?
like at the end of the day, we got a gun that you didn't even bother changing in any way graphically from its normal variant, and it does the same exact amount of damage, and it's the mats to give it the special ammo to do anything in particular are kind of ludicrous. I mean, thanks.
You know what? I haven't taken a look at. Have you actually played it? Because I haven't.
Any of the Interstellar Initiatives?
Yeah.
I played a little bit, but I had to get back to flying a ship and talking about that.
Yes, it's there's a lot of, well, I don't know about a lot, but there's content that the game has that just, if it doesn't move me, I'm not gonna dive into it and cover it. And if it's not for a video, interesting enough for a video, it's not gonna get any coverage. But
like this one, like everyone bailed on this second one because they're like, well, I don't have a lot of faith on on what they're going to do because they didn't really do well with the first one. And for this first part where you have to go and find new barnacles to go and turn in and everything like that, that's what everyone thinks you're supposed to do, right?
Oh yeah.
Wrong. It's actually turning in exploration data. It has little to do with finding. Yeah, it has nothing to do with finding actual new barnacles or anything like that. And it's not even relative. So you're not looking for ammonia worlds or Earth-like worlds or any particular thing. Not even planets with atmosphere. It's all based on quantity, not quality. You could turn in 1,000 systems with just ice worlds that have nothing on them or gas giants, and it counts exactly the same.
Oh, well.
Like, that's not even viable. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know. It is what it is. Hopefully, we see a big turnaround in 2020. I mean, they've been working on this for, well, by the time 2020 comes around, late 2020, which is when it's supposed to drop. Yeah. They've had at least 2 years at minimum, at least, if not 3 years. I don't think they said exactly when they started working on this big content. That's supposed to be exciting, but I mean, hopefully it's the one we're looking for.
You know what would be a feature that I would absolutely love, and a lot of people would totally give me crap for it, but realistically, more than pretty much anything else, I would very much like a player-driven economy.
Oh yeah. This guy in my comments went on a rant about why that's a bad thing, and he started taking it to the Frontier store, and I don't know where he was going with that. But yeah, it would at least, because first of all, we don't have a lot of good interaction with other players. I mean, we can wing up and shoot stuff, and that's mostly the extent of it. But a player-driven economy would bring a lot of players together. First of all, they have to fix the instancing to make that work, but
yeah,
it would give us some options that we have in 4 or 5 years, however long the game has been out, that we have not seen, and we've been craving.
Yeah, I mean, the problem, the most pushback I ever get is, well, I don't want this game to become EVE Online. Well, I don't want it to become EVE Online either, because, no. But their economy is something legitimately to brag about. They have an amazing economy, and yes, there are scammers and people who scam, and
sure,
yes, it's encouraged by their devs, and yes, it's kind of toxic, and there's some nasty things you should look out for. But that's just, that's just life. Don't get a job selling Cutco knives. It's a scam.
Cutco knives, huh? Oh man, I'm a laugher, and I laugh all the time, man.
Have you ever wondered, like, you go fly off to like Colonia, and you're like, oh, I want to bring my miner out here. I'll just transfer my miner out here. Like, wait, who's making that run? How is my ship being packed up and transferred over? How is that being done? Is somebody flying my ship here without me?
Yeah, you kind of dig into the suspension of disbelief.
I would very much like to flat pack ships and just ship them across the bubble for people who ever need them. I'd love to be able to have that as a player-driven option. I'd love to, set up a corporation where I can, manufacture X and own my own station and hire actual players to go pick up stuff, deliver it, what do I know? Legs. I'm looking forward to legs.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. I think that goes back to the collaboration video that we did. I mean, if they did do legs, we need a complete overhaul of what's already in here. Because I mean, like, look at where we're at right now. It's just kind of a dry, barren planet, nothing on it. So, I mean, if legs, then they also need Atmo. They need stuff to do. They need to open up the station. They need all kind of game loops that just aren't present yet. So if they do it, it's got to be exciting just because of the amount of things that they'd have to put into the game to support it.
I would very much like spacewalks. I really would.
EVA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
definitely
exciting.
I mean, just open up my back door, while I'm sitting in, just sitting in normal space, moving along, open up the door, hop out. You mentioned something in Star Citizen in one of your videos, how you tried to jump out during the middle of a fight and go hop onto the other guy's ship and see if you could just, just board them and pirate it right off the bat. That would be glorious.
Absolutely.
Glorious.
Absolutely. I think that'll scare a lot of players off, though. There's
Why?
There's a lot of people that don't want it to turn into a first-person shooter, which I can understand that, but at the same time, first of all, you wouldn't have to do that. It's not something you have to do, but it adds a lot of depth into this shallow ocean, as they call it, and we need those type of things.
I wouldn't even mind if you don't have to go and jump out of the ship while it's moving at Mach 4,
right?
And go and jump on this other ship. If you could hire AI Marines to go jump onto a ship and take it for you, I'd be okay with that. How about an actual fleet? Like you could get like a fleet with AI controlled ships to join you in a fight.
That would be outstanding.
Would.
But again, give some meaning to the squadrons, the fleet carrier that's supposed to be coming up.
I can see. I know exactly what's going to happen. I know exactly what's going to happen with those fleet carriers.
What's going to happen?
Everyone's going to buy one, and then there's going to be a bloodbath because it's going to turn out you're going to need they have like crap defenses on their own or something like that, and anytime you see a fleet carrier now, it's just going to be open season for everybody in the system to go try to blow it up just for fun.
That'll definitely be a Yamix video.
I guarantee it. I guarantee you he's going to personally lead a number of raids.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Wow.
Let's see. Pick a direction.
Pick a direction.
North, south, either way. All right, north it is. Let's see. There's so many systems in this game.
That's the thing that Elite Dangerous does right. The scale is just incredible. You do see a lot of repetitive assets being used, but
still. Like the real universe or real galaxy, it's actually quite empty. I wish it wasn't, but it is. That's okay. I mean, look, the very concept that I can go to where am I headed? IC 206 sector something. The very concept that I may be the very first person to ever be here, even if it is virtual. If I'm the first person to ever be here, that's kind of amazing.
It is. Oh, look at that color.
That is nice. Let's see. What do we got? We are the first person to ever be here.
Is that right? History, folks. History.
Hey. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's all rocky bodies. And some transient signal sources. What do we got here? Degraded emissions. That's about it.
Seriously, the Anaconda has all these little details on it that just makes the lack of being able to explore it all the worse.
Yeah. This thing is huge. It is absolutely huge. It's bigger than a football field, and you can't... You're going to tell me I don't need anyone else to fly this thing?
It's a little far-fetched. Like, I'm looking at a window right now. I mean, there's doors. I want to see people coming in and out of those doors. I want to walk in and out of those doors.
Exactly. You see the Orca video I just did on last Tuesday?
Did I? I want to say yeah.
I have a throwaway line in there where if I could, or I was just like saying, like, you know, you can get this great jump range if you don't put any passenger cabins in it.
Yeah,
but,
okay,
you know,
I remember that. Yeah,
that's how you get a ghost ship in space, though.
that's right. You asked me about that line.
No, but the line after though is on the other hand, if I could walk out onto like the main promenade look up, yeah, come on, you know, there's
Space Nine, baby.
Damn right. If I could walk out there and just look at the sky fly or the stars flying by, this massive canopy, and just set the thing to autopilot or super cruise or whatever, and I can just walk around and watch it, I might not ever fly another ship in my life. You know?
I can see that.
System scan complete. Congratulations. We are now the proud finding people of this all ice world system.
I can't remember if I get. No, I don't get that data, do I? There's some shared exploration data. I can't remember how it works. So.
All right. Let's go check out some degraded emissions. Maybe we'll find something ridiculously rare and we'll have it on camera.
Hey, so are there any upcoming projects that you would like to plug?
Ooh. Well, on Tuesday I'm doing that thing with you.
That's right.
Yeah, that's going to be the season special. Not sure if I'm going to take a break after that, but I think I might let my batteries recharge a little bit. The finale of the series is the Corvette, obviously, but that's only because everyone keeps asking me when I'm going to do the Corvette.
Yeah, that's the one they always ask about. When is that coming?
Somebody sent me a little picture of the seagulls from Finding Nemo, and it's Corvette.
It's on your community tab.
I think so. I don't know. Maybe have been. How about you, man? Were you working on anything else?
I'm always 10 feet deep in projects to be completed. Nothing I want to name right now.
We're flipping the script here. Now I'm interviewing you. Tell me, Dig, what is going on in your life?
What is going on in my life? I am trying to bridge the gap between Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen. That is what's going on in my life.
You keep trying to convince me that Star Citizen is worth it, and I don't know. I watched that video with you and Yemix. That was hysterical.
Yeah, that was so. That was the Murphy's Law video. It was insane, man.
Why did you guys keep dropping dead? That was crazy.
Yeah, you know what? That's a bug in 3.5 that's happened to a lot of people. I've heard it several times, but I had never experienced it myself. And so, of course, when we're recording the video, it happens every time.
Oh, that was rough.
And he didn't put every single one of them because it happened more than what you see in the video. I couldn't believe it. But on the same token, we had a lot of fun, like in combat and different areas. We had a lot of fun with the bugs. That was hilarious. The video was hilarious. I recommend everybody go check that out.
Yes, actually, that's double over for. I'm recommending a video I'm not even in. Go watch it.
See, that's how good it is. But nah, you know, it's not everybody has a stomach to play in alpha, and the alpha, just by definition, is a buggy experience. But you know, the more they get into it, the less game breaking the bugs are, and you know, they're gonna put some more on top of it that breaks the game even more. They're gonna add some stuff that breaks that. They're gonna clear up those bugs, but they're gonna add some more on top of that that breaks that. It's just an ongoing process till we get to the beta.
That's something to look forward to.
What was that? What did you just do?
I just ran into some wreckage because I forgot that I'm an anaconda and not something more small and sensible. No, I mean, look, my problem isn't necessarily that I think Star Citizen is, an alpha or anything like that. I have no problem playing an alpha. Some of the best games I've ever played were broken well before they got released to the public. I got Minecraft before it was released.
Yeah.
I got it in the alpha. But I just don't think they're ever going to finish it. And especially relying on this company where even if they do finish it, even if everything goes exactly the way it's supposed to, everything goes according to plan, you're going to have to rely on them to keep their servers up and running just so you can play it.
Yeah.
That worries me.
I like I said, I'm fairly new at PC gaming, and so I don't really get into that kind of stuff. But I have to believe that with the model that they're going to, which is outside of the box, I think their model is they're building technology that doesn't exist yet to be licensed to other companies to game it. I think that alone should sustain their objectives and keep the game going.
I hope you're right. I really do. I really do hope I'm wrong on this one.
Yeah, a lot of people do. If they're successful, it'll be the greatest game ever made. But that's a steep hill to climb.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem realistic.
Yeah, but I mean, somebody has to do it. Somebody has to go beyond what everybody says. Because right now, the development process for every company is just so.
No, look, I'm not gonna lie,
and it's not really going good for anybody right now, with exceptions like with CD Projekt Red or.
Yeah, I mean they're always killing it.
Well, actually, I can't say Bethesda without getting murdered about Fallout 76, but.
Oh yeah, so that company that starts with a B. No, look. Here's the thing, though, is that, I totally agree that, and it does happen, that there are these companies that take a massive leap forward in technology, and we all get to reap the benefits, and so do they, because we pay out the ass for it, but...
5 minutes later.
For everybody still tuned in, I promise the pilot can fly a little better than that.
Yeah, we're gonna edit that out? Yeah.
We're on way later than I anticipated. Any parting words?
I don't know, man. They're already on your channel if they're watching this. Go yell at Yamix and tell him to watch Teen Titans Go. He'll love it.
Big 7-Up salute and thanks to Commander Blackout, to Diedrichs, to the Mother, to Bussa Boy, and to Anthony Jackson. Big 7-Up salute and thanks to all these fine patrons of the Dig That Arts and members of the Dig That Fam. Come holla at us in Discord.
I am the pilot. This is Dig.
Fly dirty, Commanders.